Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, yeah.
SmackDown.
That's
right?
old school SmackDown, right?
Yeah. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to SmackDown.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Smartmark Wrasslin Radio.
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling.
SmackDown.
That's old
Right?
school SmackDown, right?
Oh, we got some. Yeah. Hey, hold on. That was my bad. I had the YouTube up.
Oh.
That was my bad.
That's why we were...
Welcome to the show,
That
everybody.
sounds like me.
At Derek on TSBN, at Huds Magruder, at Dkatz 88. We have a great show, actually, for you today. We're going to talk about the top 5 best ladies. Huh?
I've been waiting for
Love
this
that.
for what? 13 weeks? 14 weeks?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, this is a great list. And then also Mr. Chris Huds here is going to do. He's going to do Wrestler K and our Wrestler A through Z.
It was a hell of a difficult
I don't know what
choice.
we're going to do when. Oh, I'm sure it was. K is a good letter. I
There's
don't know what
so
we're going to
many.
do when we get to Wrestler Z. We'll be done. We'll just start over. There's so many wrestlers. We'll start over.
We'll do Dolph Ziggler.
We're not doing Dolph Ziggler.
Derek can have Z.
When we get,
He can choose between Larry's
when
and
we get-
Bisco. And
that's
Dolph
fine.
Ziggler.
When we get past Wrestler Z though, do we just start over? Do we just start over on the list? I think we do.
What if we do kanji symbols and then we just do all 700 kanji symbols and we do all of the Japanese wrestlers?
there you go.
Love
you
it.
can man that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you. Take the lead on that one.
I say we either go back to A or we do Z twice and then go backwards.
I like that. 'Cause
Actually,
we
I
could do
do like that
Ziggler
idea.
and Zabisco. Or both
This
Zabiscos.
is Dolph Ziggler. Okay, if we're gonna take Dolph Ziggler, let me do Wrestler Z.
Yeah. 2 weeks
I will
of
do
just
Wrestler Z.
reaming him.
2 weeks. I'll do 2 times of Dolph Ziggler. No Zabisco. I'll do 2 weeks of Ziggler where I just talk about how much I fucking hate him. He seems like an okay guy. That's the thing. I don't like his gimmick or how he wrestles or
I
his
don't know.
look or anything.
I
Also,
don't
he
know
doesn't
about
seem like
any
an
of that.
okay guy.
Yeah, he doesn't really, does he?
No, he doesn't. Boy, Fight Fest was last night. Night one.
Yes.
Fighter Fest. Overall, I liked the show. I fucking hated the ending. I don't want those belts on Adam Page and Kenny Omega. I want them in the scramble for either the TNT title or their World Heavyweight Championship. I don't want them in that mix. Man, there's too many tag teams to be fucking around with these two dudes.
Let's talk about the theory of this. Why do you think Kenny Omega and Adam Page are the World Tag Team Champions? Well, let's explore that because I don't think they should be either. But
I think there's some notoriety on the names. I think as far as the organization goes, they were the 2 biggest guys in the Indies, or 2 of the biggest guys in the Indies. I think that's why. I think having 2 big names in there. I also think they want to lead up to a big Adam Page and Kenny Omega breakup and big match between
bet
the
your
2
ass.
of them. Yeah.
Well, they actually, you know what? I did like the ending because I don't like straight edge people, and Kenny Omega, in my mind, is a fucking heel because he's a straight edge fucking pussy. And
Is that what he?
Adam
Is that why he
Page-
poured it out?
Yeah, because he's straight edge, dude. He doesn't drink
I
beer.
didn't know that.
So
Oh.
yeah, so for me, it's great because I get Kenny Omega is a heel now. Like, say what you will about him, he's a heel in my eyes because I'm a beer drinker. I like whiskey, I like beer, I like riding horses, and I don't like bucking bales, but I'll fucking do it.
Well, no, okay, so I understand. And they did kind of go heel. It was a heel. I mean, FTR they're kind of a heel group, but really, I mean, they're out there and they congratulated him and gave him beers, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, right, of course. And that's what's beautiful. That's the beauty of it, right? Go ahead.
And maybe I'm pissy because I like Best Friends. I think Best Friends should have won the match.
Dude, I love them. When their mom dropped them off.
Oh, I loved it.
That was the best.
I loved it. It
was such a joke. Yeah, me too. I wrote it down in my notes in pencil.
Yeah,
Graphite to paper, man.
I also love Chuck Taylor. I love how mushy in the middle he is. I love how he rocks that no shirt and he's so mushy in the middle because Trent's cut. The dude's shredded. But then you got fucking Chucky T out there. I love the holding hands thing. I love the hug. I like everything they have. I love that they hang out with Orange Cassidy. I love that in the mix too. I love the three of them together. I think it's fantastic. So I was really rooting for them to win that match. So is Zach. Actually. Zach was very disappointed.
Right.
Wanted Best Friends. We've been using the Best Friends theme song for the last 6 weeks on our sports show.
Well, we got to see something that we rarely see in Vince's WWF, which is faces winning across the board.
Yep.
Like not a single heel.
So I commented on that last night, right? I said,
and I agree.
It was about halfway. It was about halfway through, and I said, "Has a heel won a match?" No, not all night. And you never see that. But here's the other thing. The faces right now have now that we have to take into account win and loss record and statistics, of course, Reggie Bush is going to have a great run game at Fyter Fest, right? Your top players should be realistic in that sense. Don't kill the business by building a guy up wicked high and then jobbing him out. You know what I mean? So I totally got why I didn't like it, but I totally got it. Yeah. Good point, Jesse. Yeah. Oh, but by the way, speaking of Y2J, Chris Jericho.
The best in the world. Le champion.
First off, he should have been on the whole show as an announcer.
Oh yeah, why did they take him off? Right?
Well, he had his moment and he got all heated and they took him off or whatever. Nope, you put him on the whole goddamn show because he's the best thing that's happened to the announce team. When he came out to his song
Skillbone,
and first thing he's like, I'm joining here, Tony Scavone, dude. When you watch
an Excalibur with his big dumb fat head.
Yeah. When you watch, he's Excalibur. Don't you get out of my way, you stupid idiot. Dude, Tony Schiavone. If you watch him, he corpses so bad. He laughs through the whole thing. He doesn't hide it. He doesn't laugh. He thinks the whole thing is fucking, because it is hilarious. Chris Jericho is seriously the best thing AEW has, and they gotta fucking hold on to him as long as they possibly can, because as long as he's on that roster and he's on that announce team and he's doing stuff, I don't know a legend who's better right now. I mean, he's the guy. He is.
I really believe that if Billy Gunn and Chris Jericho are given more power as far as bringing up talent and the booking aspect, I think we're going to have a better product. I think Tony Khan needs to recognize that these old dudes know what works and know what doesn't work. And you know why? Because they haven't worked a lot. Billy Gunn and Chris Jericho have screwed up a lot.
Well, dude, the Ass Man
seen
thing.
People screw. Yeah, of course.
The Ass Man thing was a flop. Jericho's first inauguration into WWF was a flop. It didn't work out. It was good, but it wasn't like it wasn't like it should be, right? He knows what works because he's done the stuff that doesn't work.
Yep. Yeah.
God damn it. He is so good, though. He's so funny on that mic. And when he's retired, when he's finally done, if he's not an announcer, I just don't even know what I'll do with myself. Because he's so good.
He needs to be... Chris Jericho, in my mind, is going to be one of those guys, one of those few guys that transcends guys like Ric Flair and you know, Triple H, all these people that we hold in high regard. Jericho is, when it's all said and done, he's still going to be the first undisputed champion. He's still going to be the Le Champion. You can't take it away from him. He's the best.
I love that it's in his title now, like Le Champion.
Yeah.
I love. Did you see that? On the graphics for him versus Orange Cassidy? Which, by the way, I'm not going to be in town next week, so I won't be able to do a show next week. I'm heartbroken that I'm going to miss that match. I got COVID.
Got the Rona? I'll join you here. Hold on.
All right,
I would like. Can I before? I don't have. I only have like a few things to say about this week.
Okay.
I think that NXT UK you shouldn't watch because it's just reruns. Who cares? NXT Bash at the Beach. NXT Bash at the Beach, or no, Great American Bash. It was pretty good.
It was good. I watched it today.
And Io Shirai and Asuka together, fucking gives me a boner.
NXT
really cool.
NXT was fantastic this week.
It really was.
I watched it today
because
Riz Nation gave me enough criticism that I watched NXT. So I watched. It was
really good.
Yeah, we watched Fyter Fest last night, so I watched NXT today. It was excellent. It was a great product. NXT is WWE's best product right now, for sure.
Absolutely, and that's because of Triple H.
Yeah,
I don't care what. Yeah,
it is.
And a lot of it is those guys are all feeling their way into characters. They're all young. I'm pretty sure they're all young. I don't know if
most of them.
A couple of older guys in there, but
I mean, the older ones are still 30. I mean, I think. So they got Finn Balor. It might be their oldest on the roster right now.
So last week, AEW lost the ratings war on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So I watched that NXT episode, and I understand why. I totally get it. AEW has a big task on their hands right now. Because when I watched Fyter Fest tonight and Dynamite last week, I was a little bored. Like, I love Luchasaurus and that Marco Stunt. That's my favorite thing other than Chris Jericho right now. But Matsuda, is that her name? Hana Matsuda?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
She's great and everything. But I feel like it's too much of a copy of Asuka.
Yeah.
Either that or Asuka is been made champion because WWE's like, well, screw you, AEW. We've got the better Japanese wrestler, which is true. Absolutely true. And like there's some really like MJF is great. So, I even like his muscle. And to me that was the only amazing match was Jurassic Express versus MJF and
I was super surprised that MJF and Wardlow didn't win. Of the whole card, I thought at least MJF is gonna win this.
And he should. He needs to be pushed. But God dang it! It was the best match on the card in my opinion.
It was.
I think Cody Rhodes is amazing, but there's only so much you can do with a big dumb idiot that doesn't know how to read and
Jake
has a lisp. I mean, you got a lisp. I don't mean to offend you, but Hager is a piece of shit.
I messaged you guys too. I mean, boy, Hager's ring gear. Jesus, that was
so boring. Yeah.
Like, I mean, they didn't even. Was his ring attire guy like out of town, or is he got COVID? Like, what the hell happened? He was just wearing like the spandex blue bottoms. I'm like, what is going on here?
He copied Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford's intro. He copied that. I mean, just because he didn't have the sucker doesn't mean not. Let one guy kiss a broad. Excuse me. Reverse that. Let one guy kiss a wonderful lady.
Oh, I know what you're saying, though. I see where you're going with that, though.
Yeah, let them have that gimmick. Why does Hager have the need to steal that?
Yeah.
Like,
also, hi, Jake Hager.
Is his suspension?
Go ahead.
Is his suspension legit or is it kayfabe?
Guevara?
Oh, no, Jake Hager.
Jake Hager.
10-day suspension for punching
he punched the ref or whatever. It's probably kayfabe.
Oh yeah, it's kayfabe for sure. If not, get him though. Send him to the Mud Show.
Right. Yeah, didn't we? We said that last night. We're like, you're done.
Lance Archer was what we were talking about.
It was Lance Archer.
Send him to the Mud Show.
God, he sucks, man. That's a crappy gimmick. He's a crappy wrestler. He sucks. As soon as he lost to Cody for that TNT championship, who gives a shit, dude?
Who cares?
He sucks.
You know what? He should do a program with Scott Steiner. Maybe he'd go over.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sucks because I feel bad for Jake Roberts because he's basically backing.
He's had the best promos of his entire career. I'll say that about Taz as well. Both of those guys are killing it.
I heard Taz has gotten better on the mic.
Oh yeah, man.
His old mic is bad.
Last night when he did a promo for Brian Cage, and I was like, this is it. This is good. In fact, if we were going to talk about top 5 valets tonight, I was going to make an argument for both Taz and Jake Roberts because they're killing it. It's so good.
It is really good.
Yeah, that's all I've heard.
But God damn
Taz is finally, maybe it's all the years on commentary that he did with WWE.
Yeah,
and he finally found his voice.
And actually,
I think that the WWE stifled him, and I think that now that he doesn't have to worry about writers and PC bullshit, he can just work the show like he normally would, and I think that's where he shines. I think that's why Chris Jericho is doing so well, because in WWE they controlled him too much. And
well, they got the they have the microphone in their ear and they're constantly being told.
And I'm sick of that. I want to see wrestling, man. Well, I mean, the podcast is called Wrasslin. That's what I want to see. I want to see old wrestling.
And how do you resist Vince McMahon in your ear? Get tired of those big sweaty men.
Well, and that's the other thing.
Get the load of that ham hock.
That's some good shit.
My favorite thing about Vince McMahon is the fake yell. Like he's yelling, but he's controlling his volume so he doesn't peak the microphone. He's like, "Oh my God, there it is! There it is! Oh my God,
I will say Vince is still to this day probably one of the best play-by-plays, though. Honestly,
absolutely.
No, but remember, Randy and Jesse disagreed.
Nah, they're wrong.
I think I agree with you.
That's why Randy and Jesse aren't on this show as regulars. It's because they're wrong. And we only have right people on this show.
Yeah, who wants to listen to a guy who loves Impact and another guy who loves NXT? Get the fuck out of here. I'm just teasing you. I love you.
I love Randy and Jesse as well.
They're great.
They're fantastic. And also, quick shout out to Randy. Their show will be back soon on YouTube. Good. And you got to check it out. Actually, Randy and I are talking a little collaboration on a gaming show as well.
Nice.
Little gaming show.
I'm doing that SmackDown vs. Raw GM thing with him. Whacking it down.
I love it. Nice.
Pretty awesome. No, they're great. Also, before we get too deep in the show, I want to say the show is brought to you in part by the Wooden Nickel, the official and unofficial bar of sports program. Tomorrow night, Zach Swan Sean Walters and myself will be at the Wooden Nickel doing a live show from there. Well, we'll do a stream. It'll be a lot of fun. So check it out. And check out the Wooden Nickel.
Crashed it. What if I crashed it?
Come up.
All right.
Just show up, hit somebody with a chair.
Come up. It's a nice bar. Here's the nice thing. Here's the nice thing about the bar. Here is the nice thing about the bar.
Shuffleboard. They still have the shuffleboard?
No, I was gonna say a lot of space. So if you're worried about social distancing,
which we all should be.
It's a wide space bar, and that's what I like about it. Is a lot of space in there. Even before COVID-19, I think it's like they knew the pandemic was coming. Also,
cover your mouth, Ranger.
Brian Nygaard is one of the owners of that bar. Very nice person. So good bar. Anyway, all right. So, and they're a pub actually. So, beer and wine only. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No hard A.
That's the Wooden Nickel tradition. That's tradition.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
As is tradition.
It's tradition.
As is tradition.
Okay. So, I mean, Fyter Fest, I thought was mostly good. It wasn't. I will say this.
I didn't like it.
Well,
but
so
I could see why you would say that, and I dig that and could get behind. I'll vote for that.
I'll give you some. Here's my criticism of it. It was not the pay-per-view quality show that they said it was going to be. It was absolutely the opposite of that. It was shitty. As far as like, it had, they had a big infographic of Fyter Fest in the background, and then some girls in bikinis on the side, and it was like Fyter Fest. It's a pay-per-view. No, it wasn't.
Hey,
it was.
It was almost.
It was TNT.
It was almost like Paul Lynn was like, "I'll tell you what we do, honey. We just put a bunch of palm trees in front of the openings, and then we're in the jungle, baby."
It honestly felt, and maybe I don't know if they did this. If they did this, they trolled us hard.
It kind of felt like an in-your-house joke.
It was almost like the real Fire Festival. Like it was. It was not
disappointing, and like
it was. It felt.
Well, and they didn't charge for it, right?
Oh,
it was a
there
free
he
show.
is. Yeah, it was free. There's Janky Kang. Here he is, my baby. I was waiting to say our honorary co-host Janky Kang here.
He got a job at Shooters.
No shit.
Oh, fantastic.
Right on.
He got a job at Shooters.
Good for you, Drewby.
So I'm proud of the son of a bitch.
Oh,
it's a
man,
good
I
spot
like the guy.
since they took the smoking out of that bar.
It is. Actually.
So I don't go there.
It is. But it is the closest thing that Lewiston would have to like a Buffalo Wild Wings. There's so many TVs. The food's good.
Yeah, the food is fantastic.
The food's really good. And if you go sit in that front part that's like a restaurant, there's so many TVs and stuff. It's like, man, this feels like a Buffalo Wild Wings. It's like the closest thing.
There's a lot of dartboards.
There are quite a few dartboards.
Those are more towards the back.
A lot of dartboards.
There is some dartboards. No, it's a good little restaurant, though. If I lived downtown, I would go there more often, but I used to go there quite a bit. I mean, I love the new remodel. It's fantastic. So
well, he's lucky because he lives across the street.
Well, very nice.
So
good for you, Janky King, and thank you for joining in the show. I was wondering where you were, and I got a little worried. Gonna lie.
He's a good man.
AEW Fighter Fight. It was like Fyre Fest, though. It was a little disappointing. It was not. I mean, I love all the social media and stuff. Was like, oh, pay-per-view quality show. Granted, it was free. If you have YouTube or cable or whatever, it was free. But it was advertised as something that it was not. It was TNT Dynamite. It was TNT Dynamite. They put a little sugar on that turd, but it was still a turd.
It felt like the last Nitro. It was that depressing to me.
It wasn't.
It was such a sad.
And the card, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do for the next show, because I felt like the card for this night was way better than what it's gonna be in next week.
So
since Moxley's not defending the title.
Yeah, they're doing like some Fight for the Fallen bootlicking stuff. I mean, they're doing a nice show for the people. But I also feel like Well, then strip the title from Moxley and make some dudes wrestle for it. Like, make number one seed and the number two. Like, let's think of it in sports terms. Let's say Mike Tyson, just for the sake of argument. Mike Tyson beats Evander Holyfield for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then the boxing commission says, okay, you're going to work in Jersey and you're going to box fucking Jesus Christ. And he's like, no, man, I'm not going to I'm not going to show up because I'm scared and stuff. Jesus beat my ass. Like, and if he doesn't show up,
he's going to punch hard.
There would be the boxing commission would like have an emergency meeting and be like, we got to strip this fella of the, because you know they're racist. Yeah. We got to strip this fella of the World Heavyweight Championship if he's not going to defend it. I mean, we have to hold the integrity of the championship. You know what I mean?
And if they're making wins and losses count, they should be that serious about it.
Then that's delinquents of duty as champion. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about COVID-19.
And none of those people are going to die of COVID. None of them. None of those people are at risk.
No, they're going to be fine.
Well,
maybe.
I mean,
we can't say that empirically. I mean, let's not be charlatans.
I just mean that they're wrestlers and their hearts are the size of footballs, and they might die. Actually, they might
AEW might not have a wellness program. I'm not sure. They could all be on steroids.
It could be.
It could be like throwing a nuke in there.
And then we did get a great promo from Taz and Brian Cage. Yeah, I mean, it was great. And you wouldn't get that promo. I mean, Taz was awesome. I liked what. So I compared Brian Cage and Taz to Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, whom I will say I love. I love the Paul Heyman Brock Lesnar matchup. I love it. I will say I loved Brian Cage though, standing behind Taz, reacting to the stuff that he says. I feel like Brock personality stands there sometimes, and Brian Cage, he's doing like the nope, like fucking just reacting to the stuff he says. I'm like, hey, there's some acting here going on. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I do agree that when JR and Tony Schiavone say that Brian Cage is the total package, I think he's really close to it. Yeah, I think if you're trying to put over your company, you could say that about Cage.
But then I say it right now. Put that fucking strap on him and get it off Moxley. No more. We're done.
Yeah, we're done with it.
I want it on Brian.
Send it to the Mud Show. Send it to the Mud Show.
Because Brian Cage is not my favorite either, but I would love to see him in a mix with. Man, what if you saw him with like Kenny Omega or Adam Page? When they're done,
Jungle Boy and him would be a great match.
Oh man, that'd be fun.
Him and what's MJF's guy? Wardlow. Yeah. Like him and Wardlow. Now
him and Adam, him and Brody Lee would be good.
Absolutely. Now who are we not talking about? We're not talking about Lance Archer.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oh, is that your wife?
It is. It's my wife.
My wife.
My wife.
Oh, hey, wait! I gotta show you something.
Oh, she got me a shirt. Let me see that. Oh! Look at that.
Looks like a party.
Very nice. I like that shirt. Oh yeah.
Sam's Choice, Brock Lesnar. the off-brand Walmart.
He's not wrong. I mean, I like that.
I don't mean to get too personal, but
very nice.
Oh, are you getting hitched?
What?
Yeah.
OMG, I'm sorry.
Congratulations, my little baby.
Yeah, thank you.
That's outstanding.
Dusty's also Is that a fit? Are you married now or getting married?
We have the licenses. We're just waiting to do it privately.
Dusty's also
in
marrying
the woods
a Brie.
somewhere. Yes.
Dusty's also
yes.
marrying a Brie.
Two Brees.
Two Brees.
Drew Brees?
Two
And to
Brees.
be honest with you, I'm most excited about getting brand new glasses in October when the open enrollment comes around.
Well, you're talking about the fact that you're marrying somebody with health insurance.
Yeah. I voted for Bernie. He didn't do shit. So I'm just going to have to get hitched.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. I love her very much. And she means the world to me. But I am excited for the glasses.
I also love her very much, actually. She's a very wonderful woman, and she's a delight to have around. Okay, so Monday. We'll talk Monday a little bit. God damn it. I hate the Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre rivalry. I hate it. Why? It's like you know it's not going to be a thing. You know Dolph Ziggler's not going to win. I mean, at this point, they could really swerve us and make Dolph Ziggler win, which I would be like, okay.
Yeah, how would you react to like a complete push for Dolph?
Probably not well.
Was that the dog? Who brought the dog?
Fucking animal.
I hope it's a monkey. I hope it's a capuchin monkey.
It's not.
And you're like,
I have too many pets. I fucking hate them all too.
Well, my question was before you kicked the fucking Australopithecine out of your room.
She's still in here. She's still in here. Little monkey.
What we were... What? Spike?
Don't
quit laughing,
look,
bastard.
For those of you who watch this show, don't have fucking pets if you do a podcast, okay? Like, get rid of them. If you ever want to start a show.
Just
for anyone who reaches out to me and is like, man, I'd love to get into podcasting, what should I do? I'm going to say, get rid of your fucking pets. Don't have any. Because they're garbage.
No sugar glider, no.
Don't do it.
Guinea pigs, no.
Don't do it, because they'll find a way. Nature finds a way to ruin the show that you have. Because they're trash.
I don't know. I'm looking down at Chewy Dog. He's just laying there.
Yeah.
Leave it to Derek's luck. He'd buy a plant and it would just grow in front of the camera.
It would.
Like, look who's.
All right. Drew,
well, okay,
Jake
I was going to ask you, so how would you react?
Okay, go ahead.
We were going to ask you, how would you react if they gave him a full-on push? If they gave Dolph a real push, really made him look good, gave him the strap, had him defended a bunch of times, let's say if Dolph was in McIntyre's position right now, what's your reaction? I mean, I know you hate him,
I'd
but
probably
what if
hate
they
him
made
less.
Okay,
I'd hate him less, because I've seen it now with somebody who I formerly hated, which was The Miz. I hated The Miz. If we started the show 5 years ago, I would have had the same spiel with The Miz, how much I hated him. But now,
right.
I genuinely would like to see a big belt put on The Miz and see him as champion. A heel. He'd have to be a heel. I don't want.
And then,
like
you've said before,
Miz.
Do it and then never do it again. Like you said,
yeah.
Do it and then never do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dolph, in your eyes, has room.
He's not going to win,
and is kind of a victim of his booking.
A little bit.
And also his choice of gimmick. I wonder how much of his gimmick was in his control, and what if Dolph Ziggler let his contract lapse and went to AEW? and didn't have to worry about any copyright or no compete, went to AEW, what would his gimmick then be? Would it still be the Dolph Ziggler we see today, or would it be an unbridled, like cutting a Mustang from the herd and like maybe.
So okay, right. Here would be some things that Dolph Ziggler could do to improve, in my eyes. First off, we quit bleaching that hair. It's fucking dumb. It's 2020. You look stupid. Go with the. We know your hair is brown, motherfucker. We see it growing out. We can see your roots. And your hair, when it's wet, it looks like Top Ramen. It's bad.
It only works for Guy Fieri.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect, Psycho Sid, Ric Flair, all day. Sting, even, all day.
But Dolph lets it grow too much, and then you see those roots, and you're like, you're bleaching your hair, motherfucker. You look dumb. Also, I would say, kill the cool guy stuff. I've never liked that. I hate. Do you remember before Seth Rollins became the Monday Night Messiah, which I love, by the way. I love the gimmick. I love that he's a Monday Night Messiah. I love that he's a heel. I think it's fantastic. Before he did that, he was doing like the cool guy thing. Like they wanted him to be this cool guy. Like just, I'm so cool. And it was lame. It was forced. It felt weird. Dolph's always been that way. Like he'll do these promos where he's like talking on the phone. He's like, all right, babe. All right, yeah, invite your friend. Yeah, that could be fun. And then he hangs up his phone and he's like,
yeah?
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry, Derek. I can hear I'm way too fucking cool.
Right, yeah. Then he'd be like, he'll be on his phone and be like, hey, babe. No, that sounds cool. Yeah, invite your friend. She sounds hot. I'm Dolph Ziggler. And it's like, fucking shut up. No one thinks that's cool. This isn't fucking 2002. It wasn't cool then. It's not cool now. Just be a fucking guy, man. Just be a fucking
cool
dude.
To call yourself cool, ever.
There was one time where Dolph Ziggler.
So that's writing, right? Why are we? Yeah. So why then are we railing against these guys who we know are in-ring workers that are talented?
Which he is, and I've always said that Dolph Ziggler is a great in-ring worker.
The argument needs to be about these dang gab writers, man.
Yeah, it's true. Also, Janky King has a good point. I love the Messiah shit more if he didn't sound like an edgy 15-year-old. Yes, that's true. It sometimes sounds real bad. Although I like what Seth Rollins has going on with Rey Mysterio right now. I like it. I do like it. I like that of everyone that Seth Rollins could be having a rivalry with right now, it's Rey Mysterio. Who hates Rey Mysterio? You have to be a real evil. Well, the guy who got killed by Rey Mysterio probably doesn't like him very much.
Wait, what?
You know, the man who was murdered by Rey Mysterio in ring. That's the thing.
Was that in AAA?
It was in. Yeah, it was not. It was not in WWE.
And I've seen, is that the one where he trips and he hits his neck on the bottom rope?
Yeah, and then Ray does like a 619.
Wait, kicked a dude?
Yeah, he 619s him. Yeah, he breaks his neck on the middle rope, and Ray didn't know, and 619'd him, and he didn't sell it. And Ray was like, "Oh shit, there's something wrong."
Yeah.
And it was over. I think it was over before he 619'd him. I'm not saying he killed him.
I think he died from the ring. He died from the rope.
That dude's neck hit that fucking rope. Excuse me, that darn rope. Have you ever seen Lethal Weapon before?
The guy $1 million babied on the rope and broke his neck.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad.
And tragic, and he was a great performer too. It's a damn shame. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. That's the other thing where I struggle, where everyone's like, "Oh, Nia Jax hurt this gal, and Nia Jax hurt this gal." It's like, dude, you're lucky if you don't get injured every time you go out there. Like,
but Nia Jax is a bad worker, though.
She is a bad worker, and I agree. But I think the safety aspect of it really is a moot point. I think it's just the fact that she sucks is what we should talk
I actually would like seeing Buddy Murphy changing his stars and going out against Seth. I think that would be a fun match.
Isn't Buddy Murphy released?
No. Nope.
He's not released.
He's still with the Monday Night Messiah. He's still doing that thing.
Okay.
And
okay.
they changed
I thought for some reason he was
They changed his ring
suspended.
gear too. His ring gear is a lot better. It's not those weird flamed
They're
shorts.
calling him Murphy now, right? Not Buddy Murphy, just Murphy.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
okay.
Murph.
Yeah, it's a better gimmick now. His ring gear is better.
She's reckless. Yeah, she's reckless. Drew
That's
just, yeah, she is reckless. So, but you're gonna get hurt. I mean, if you
are
think about it this way, Andre the Giant is probably the worst in-ring performer to ever live. He was a spectacle, like we've talked about. If Dolph Ziggler goes after Andre and Andre hates his guts, he's gonna shoot, and you're gonna get hurt, and that's just the way it is. So, I think it's just the nature of the beast, man. And I think but I also think that it's totally feasible and understandable to not like Nia Jax.
Yeah.
For her unprofessionalism, and I definitely agree with that.
Before we move to our top fives, I will say between Fyter Fest and NXT last night, I do think NXT was better.
Yep, and there's a reason why.
I do think it was better. It was a better show. It was a better. I actually like that. I love that WWE, probably Triple H, was like, "Hey, Wednesday night they're doing a pay-per-view. What should we do? Let's do a thing. Let's fuck
do
them
better.
Up. Let's do a thing."
Yeah, and doing the Great American Bash was a big middle finger. Hey, Rhodes family, suck it.
Yeah.
2 words for you.
I like it, man.
Yeah. You think you can tell it what to do?
I still think Triple H is the best thing that's ever happened at NXT.
He's the best thing that ever happened to fucking wrestling, man.
Maybe wrestling as a whole.
Yeah. He might save it. And that's what we should totally have a Tuesday or a Wednesday or an offshoot where we just talk about Triple H. And the future of wrestling. I think we could spend an hour talking about that.
I think we can all be in agreement that when Vince McMahon finally steps down, if it is in Triple H's power to be in charge, actually, and I do feel I do think that if it's in Triple H, Shane McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon's power, it will be a better product. I actually think those three.
I agree.
I do think those 3 will do a better job. Because I do have a lot of faith in Shane and Stephanie McMahon. I think they will be better promoters than their dad.
And I think they both trust Triple H because he's actually ate the shit in the trench.
Right.
Because I think Stephanie I don't know if she ushered in the writers era of pro wrestling or if Vince just told her to do it.
Right.
But I would really think that she'd be trusting enough to Paul Michael Levesque.
Yeah.
For him to be able to revive the wrestling that we all fell in love with.
Yeah.
And get away from this writer's block. Let's call it the writer's block era. The writer's block
fair.
Of wrestling. The writer's block epic. Where it was stifled by television writers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he went too hard on the entertainment and not enough on the wrestling.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. When wrestling would have set him free. I mean, he made his money, but he's got to keep it together.
Which is why AEW is working, is because even though the wrestlers might be lamer, the wrestling is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the characters might not be great, but the execution of those characters is more natural and more organic, and we noticed that as fans of wrestling.
Even Private Party was fun to watch on Fyter Fest, and I had no investment in that.
It just feels like a copy of the Street Profits.
It does.
You know, like I'm seeing too many copies right now.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what the heck is going on. You know.
Well, and when I was watching them, one of the guys in Private Party, I was like, is that the guy from... Like, for a second, I was like, is he in Street Profits? Like, it looks the same. Same ring gear.
I mean, can you imagine, like, they have Harlem Heat in WCW, and then WWF comes out with Compton Heat? Like, what the fuck?
Right. Which is probably why I like Best Friends so much, is because I feel like it's not a copy of anything. It feels genuine. It feels singular. It feels alone. Also, I love Chuck E. T's mushy midsection.
You're a big fan of those mushy ones.
It's fun to see it because the guy does some high flying moves, and you're like, how's he doing that? Like Kevin Owens does some high flying stuff. I mean, I still feel like the guy is like the best in WWE right now. He does some high flying stuff. The guy's amazing to watch. But Kevin Owens is also, even though he's got a bigger midsection, the guy's arms are pretty cut. He still looks like he's in phenomenal shape. Chuck Taylor doesn't. He doesn't look like he's in great shape. Very nice, Dusty. All right, so let's move on. Top fives, baby. Let's do it. Top five ladies. Yeah, you want to go for it?
Yeah. I'll start with my honorable mention. It's Lita.
Very nice.
Lita's fantastic.
Nice.
We were talking before the show. She's got that moonsault. What kept her off the list was her mic work. It was always bad. I know she's probably had 2 or 3 good interviews, but for the most part, she just was not a mic worker.
And before Dusty during the show and you and I are talking, I mentioned that Lita was inducted in the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, and she had like a 45-minute speech, and it's so bad. It's so long.
They didn't even let Rick have that long, bro.
Do you remember they had she gave her speech and they ended up cutting off everyone after her because she went so long and it was so bad. Get off the mic, Lita.
She kind of sounds like a hurt goose when she's talking, don't she?
A little bit. I love the whale
She be
tail.
talking like, ho, ho, ho. I'm like, I ain't gonna put that thing out its misery, man. Tell you what.
Get back on the train, girl.
All right, love it.
All right, so my list starts with Trish Stratus. She and Lita really kicked off, I think, women's wrestling. They were pre-divas, and there were a lot of really great workers back then. But those two just really had I don't know, there was some magic there. And next up is Victoria. We met her one time in Newport, or no, it was Lincoln City, Oregon, before a Portland show. And she has one of the best female hardcore matches ever. And she came off the top rope riding a broom. And I'm pretty sure it was against Lita. But what a show that was. And so she's always going to be on my list.
She's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hey, let me separate this. You might want to cut this out. She's got a porno.
Oh,
really?
Very nice. I'm not separating that out.
No.
Well,
now I have to go
ladies
find
and
it.
gentlemen, she has a porno.
We need to have a.
Speaking of
if Chris's
wrestlers
brother
with
was,
Yeah, baby. You want to come over here, Victoria, and make love?
if Chris's brother was on the show, he'd be able to Mr. Skin the minute
he
her
would
boobies came
immediately tell us
out. The minute and time.
at what
it came
point she releases the puppy.
also, Chris.
Hello to Victoria, baby. Why don't you come over here? Yeah.
Trish Stratus also does?
That's what Janky Kang says. Does he?
No
Right,
way,
there's-
Trish does not have one.
No.
No
She's
way,
probably
liar.
that's a deep fake.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
my
it's
whole
fake.
list has pornos there.
Chris, I know your segue you're going with. You said speaking of porno. Can I speculate that China is the next on
It
your
is.
list?
It is.
She has shoes on Playboy. Hold on, put up this comment by Drew. I'm saving Playboy edition. That's what snapper balls. Tell you what.
China.
Brock Lesnar's brood too.
China was a great choice, though. China's a really good choice.
There was so much about her that was groundbreaking.
Oh,
She was. I mean, before Trish and Lita, her and Jericho splitting the title. That was one of the best runs the IC title ever had.
And then what
China
about
was hugely important.
What about China? Dude, God damn it, she's so groundbreaking.
China and Eddie.
China and Eddie. China being the muscle for DX.
Yeah.
Super insane. So cool.
You look at the names that she worked with: Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Jericho, Eddie, like everybody
Jeff
that was
Jarrett.
good. Mark Henry. You remember her when Mark Henry was in love with her and he he turned into that great big teddy bear? And,
baby.
It's not a woman, but I'm a huge Mark
Johnny,
Henry fan.
why don't you put your hair behind your ear?
God, she's so good.
Next up will be on everyone's list. I don't think she has a porno, so she'll be the first on my list that doesn't have one. And that would be Asuka. She is.
Yeah.
She's
number
the best
what?
right now. Number two. Number two. And the only reason she's not number one is because I won't ever put Alexa Bliss below number one. I love her.
Good choice. It's a good choice.
I love her.
So let's talk about Asuka and Alexa Bliss. Okay, I think right now they are two of the greatest wrestlers wrestling today, like the best. Yeah. And I think Nikki Cross is great as well. Mm-hmm. I think Io Shirai is incredible. Like these two gals, whoever they touch, they have the Midas touch, don't they? It's just, it's something else.
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
I tried to say that I was going to put her below Asuka, but she just did that, and so I put her first.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I'll go next. I have a couple honorable mentions here. I have my honorable mentions are the Glamazon Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
Just fantastic in-ring worker.
She's one hell of an athlete.
She is, and she's I love her finisher. The finisher's so cool, and I always just thought she's in the wrong era. You know, she was in the Divas era, and she should have been, I mean, if she was just 5 years, 10 years later, she would have been the best.
Or earlier.
Or earlier. Yeah, it was just a weird time for her to be a wrestler.
That Diva really time was not good.
No.
It was not a...
My other honorable mention is Sable. The reason why I mentioned Sable here is because it's her stuff with Mark Marrow when they split up, and I mean she does a Sable bomb to him, and
she power bombed Mark Marrow. Yeah, I guess
she power bombed Mark Marrow.
I dig that.
It's so iconic, and I remember being a kid and just like being a little boy and just being like, man, like Sable's hot. Like that was like my Sable's hot. You know,
she was like a Barbie doll.
Puppies, JR.
My third honorable mention is Britt Baker. New AEW. I think she's a babe. I think she's a great heel. She's hilarious. She's a great in-ring worker. Love her. And then my fourth honorable mention is actually Charlotte Flair. It was tough for me not to put Charlotte Flair in my top 5, honestly. But I do think before we did the show, before Dusty joined in, I think that Charlotte Flair is going to win the record for. I think she's going to beat her dad for how many times she beats records. I think that's what Rick wants. I think he in WWE they say he won the title 16. I think he's a 16-time world champion. We all know that that's not real. That he has it way more than
like 24.
Yeah,
31
it's crazy.
Crazy.
He's got some absurd amount.
But Triple H never out of respect didn't accept the title. He has like 15, doesn't he? Like or 14, some insane number.
13.
And the same thing with
13.
John Cena. and I think Cena
John Cena's
didn't-
at 15. He's one less.
Yeah.
He won't
yeah,
I
they
think-
didn't want to beat him.
I think in WWE it's going to be Charlotte. I think Charlotte is going to take the title more times than her dad. I think he wants that because who doesn't want something like that for their child? I think Charlotte will have the women's title
At least 17 times.
It's like 17 to 20 times. Honestly, I really do think that. She's a fantastic in-ring worker. She's a great heel. She embodies everything that Rick wants her to embody. I think she's an honorable mention because I like my top 5 more, honestly.
Well, and she just doesn't. She's not there yet.
No, not yet. She will be.
I think that the person that beats the world heavyweight record for holding it, the title, is going to be like somebody we don't know yet.
I think
that's
so too.
somebody.
Yeah.
I think we don't know that person.
Though,
But
first,
Charlotte
it will be
the most prolific, champion, just in general.
I think Rick wants that. I think Rick has been like, "Hey, you need to put the strap on her." I think he's like, "She's."
As far as I'm concerned, she deserves it.
Yeah, me too. She's fantastic. I love her. Here's my top 5. Number 5 is Asuka. Just so good. I love her in-ring work, obviously. She's amazing on the mic. I love that they don't make her learn English. They don't even give a shit at this point. I think she's hilarious. I love that she just speaks Japanese and they just don't care because it's her, because she's so good. I hope I don't want to see her go into mid-card again, but she will for a little bit. But I hope she's right back in the title picture because she's so fantastic. Number 4, China. We've already said why. I just think if she's not in a top 5, it's a hard argue to say that she's not in there. 3 and number 3, number 2 could have been just together, but number 3 is Trish Stratus. And it's just because the program she ran with Lita, who's number 2. And I put Lita in number 2 because of the in-ring work. In-ring work. The moonsault's amazing. I love that whale tail. Good stuff. Number 1, Luna Vachon. Luna Vachon scared the shit out of me when I was a child. And I love her so much. And she's not an attractive person, but they purposely made her uglier.
The cats are scared. Luna Vachon is the shit.
Yeah. She's not an attractive person, but also she made herself uglier for wrestling. Like that was a thing that she did. She did like the weird like varicose veins, like penciling on the side of her head, and I swear to God, she smoked the haircut. She smoked like a pack of cigarettes before she. We're coming up on today we have letter K, but we're gonna have letter L pretty soon here. And we might have to do Luna Vachon, man. She's fantastic. But I remember
she was dead.
She did. She's still alive. She does these.
No, she died in 2010.
Oh, did she die?
No, she passed away, man.
Sad.
So
I didn't know
if you wanted to learn about Luna Vachon, which I wish you would, I'm talking to everyone, the viewers at home, the millions and millions of the Rocks fans. Watch Gangrel interviews about Luna, and it'll make you cry. You'll cry.
I'm sure.
And I've said this before. Gangrel is one of the greatest human beings to ever live. I mean, like Mr. Rogers status, like really great fucking guy. And the story, him and Luna were in love, and have a past and a history, and it's a beautiful thing, man. They should make a movie about it. You know?
She was such a great valet and a great wrestler too. That's the thing that was so cool about her. And she had that whole bit, where she would just be like, Man, she just played the camera so well. She just like, like just fucking weird. And I remember being a kid and just being terrified of her. I love that. Luna's great, man. Luna Vachon, number one, baby.
Scary.
Oh yeah, Luna Vachon. Yeah, dude, fantastic. Your turn, Dusty.
Okay, so I have some honorable mentions. Jordan Grace is one of my not of all, like, I wanted to say that of all time just because I'm a huge fan. But she's an Impact wrestler. She's fantastic. She's this built gal who just has she's like a Neidhart, you know what I mean? Like fast and agile, but built strong. And I love that.
And actually, Natty was one that was tough to not put in even an honorable mention, but she could be mentioned.
Yeah. Right. Also, we should talk about Mickie James. She's an incredible performer.
I love Mickie James.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a problem with her politics and her choice in music, but the contribution she did for wrestling is untouchable.
And a super babe too.
Oh yeah, wicked babe. If you like, swing. She rates very high on the strokeability scale.
If you don't like big sweaty men, she's all right.
Fucking big butt Molly Holly. Ow! She needs to be on the list, man. She is an incredible performer. I love her, and it's really cringy watching how the other wrestlers and the writers made her feel bad about her body shaming and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, she overcame most of it, and really, she held the belt and was a great performer. So I
also love seeing Molly Holly come back and do like the Royal Rumbles and stuff, because she has like that mom haircut, and I fucking love it.
It's so great.
She's
man.
just the mom.
She's manager.
I love her.
She's wearing like like mom yoga pants and like a tight halter, and I just love it, like that mom haircut. And I'm like,
it's
mom.
Damn.
She was a hard too, wasn't she? Didn't she have it one time? She took it from Crash, I think.
I think she did.
Yeah.
Take the title
Molly Holly. Yeah, she was
Molly Holly, baby.
Crash did not belong in wrestling.
So, I have a litany of other honorable mentions, but they're tacked on to my number 2. So we won't talk about them until I get to number 2.
Interesting.
And I don't even think I will name them. I'll just... Okay, so number 5, Luna Vachon.
Very nice.
Absolutely. She's top 5 best all time.
Legend.
Fucking
is she in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, legendary.
The fucking
terrifying. If she's not, she should be.
She should be.
She's a fucking nightmare. You're fucking right.
In 2007, Luna Vachon was a tow truck driver. Could you imagine being towed off by Luna Vachon?
Oh, dude, I'd let her fucking...
I would not.
I'd let her put me in a headlock.
Probably demons.
If I was feeling frisky and on some drugs, I'd be like, "Yeah, pick me, Luna, do it." Oh.
She's only Luna Vachon was only 5'6". She was very small.
Yeah, she is. She's my height, so.
She feels tall though, right? She feels big like China, but she's not.
She feels so good, especially when she's. I'm just joking.
Go ahead. So number 5, Luna Vachon.
She's Luna Vachon. Number 4, Alexa Bliss. She.
Great choice.
She is like you know, in the Olympics when they do the little the dance with the flowy ribbons.
Yeah,
that's what she's like. She's a ribbon flowing in the air. She's
rhythm gymnastics.
She's just wonderful.
And she's one of the best heels that ever lived. I mean, she's such a good heel. And I love her in ring work as well. I think she's god damn it, she's so good.
And Nikki Cross is such a great wrestler too. And I mean, we should talk about. I mean, she should be on my wanting her to be again, there's women attached to all these gals.
Of course, yeah.
Who were with them and made them great and should be mentioned, you know. And I think Nikki
all these
Cross
women we're talking about could be in their own organization too. I mean, if
absolutely.
WWE put together their own. Do you remember the WWE Evolution pay-per-view where it was all women? It was really good. It was
incredible.
Really good.
It was one of the best they've had.
The Saudi Arabia show, right?
Yeah, it was. It was like
incredible.
an answer to. It was like an answer to.
It was incredible.
And because women can't go to the Saudi Arabia show, so it was like.
And I love the Mae Young
Classic.
Classic too. The Mae Young Classic is another.
That pay-per-view was so good. Like, go ahead though.
Yeah.
Good.
Number 3, Ivory.
Oh,
I love her. Love her. Right to
she was in Glow.
Yeah.
She was in
talk
Glow.
About
the original Glow.
Talk about a trailblazer and somebody who really.
And also cool to me that she was in the original Glow. I watched that show on Netflix, and it was cool to me that she was one of the ones that came from that era, and they just plucked her out and was like, "Hey, you're a WWE wrestler now," and I think that's so cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. Man, she was great. She was great.
Yeah.
My number 2. Now, before we get to my number 2. We should. Oh no, I forgot. Number 2. I didn't know about this gal until today, and I watched her wrestling matches all day. So, I watched Fyter Fest and tried to watch NXT and was just like, I'm so bored. This is all crap. I watched this gal all day. I'm confident after 5.5 hours of watching this gal.
Okay.
She's number 2, probably number 1. If I wasn't biased, probably number 1. This woman had a 30-year career, and she had Midas touch. Every other performer that she wrestled with is a legendary wrestler. Her name is Manami Toyota. She worked for All Japan. She started in 1987. And I think she quit in 2017. Wow. If you type in her name, Manami Toyota, you will find 30 years of some of the greatest wrestling you've never seen.
Wow.
It's incredible. It made me feel like a schoolboy again. It made me fall in love with wrestling again. Wrestling today pales in comparison to the work that this gal did. Just incredible. Type in her name, Manami Toyota. Watch her matches, man.
Good stuff.
I did some research on what people thought, what other people's opinions were. I saw a lot of opinions. Some of them I agreed with. Some of them I thought was total bupkis. And I investigated every single one of them. And when I got to number 1, it was Manami Toyota. I watched as much as I could. She's legit. She's the real deal. So I really encourage all wrestling fans, check her out. Incredible. It's so funny that she's number 2 and Jushin Thunder Liger was my number 2 for men, because both of them had they're both just so perfect. So please, I implore you, I beg you. And number 1, Asuka, greatest wrestler alive today. If they book her right, she could be better than Brett.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho would like to have a word. Les Champions.
yeah. But here's the other thing about Manami Toyota that I want to talk about. She wrestled dudes, and she didn't just wrestle jobber dudes. She wrestled top tier championship fucking like she wrestled the guys and won. You know, incredible. Which is what I wish for Asuka. I want her to show up and I want her to slap Drew McIntyre in the face, spit some bile in his eyes, and fucking whip his ass and and just kick his ass, Seabass, and win the title. And Dolph Ziggler falls, and Bray Wyatt can't handle it, and just whoops ass. You know what I mean? Like,
he just tries to eat her, and she spits in his face.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that. And Manami Toyota did that. She beat the dudes.
That's cool.
She is incredible. So, but Asuka is the greatest wrestler alive today for sure. So
that's pretty good. I like it. All right, that we're winding down here. Chris, you got Wrestler K?
This was hard. Like, legitimately hard. We were going back and forth talking about... I mean, I wanted to do Dkatz. I wanted Dkatz to do Kane. Kurt Angle was there. Ken Shamrock was brought up in the conversation.
Hold on. You're right, Derek. These fucking animals.
Yeah. Kelly was in the running.
Kelly, yeah.
But I decided to go with... the guy that, young Chris really enjoyed, and that was the Birdman, Coco Beware.
Oh, yeah! I love Coco Beware. I met him.
Did you really?
I did, yes. I met him. Wow, yeah. I met, there was a local wrestling event here, and I got to meet the Bushwhackers, and I met Coco Beware. As a kid, I was like 5, maybe.
Him and Owen Hart in High Energy. I was so high on that.
God damn it, that's so good.
And there's all kinds of things I could say about Coco. But the one thing that I learned today was he lost the first ever Raw televised Raw match against Yokozuna. And who could beat Yokozuna, really? Honestly beat Yokozuna. Not a lot of dudes.
So good. Oh, man. I'm pulling up a picture.
He has green hair on his Wikipedia photo. He started in 78 in Mid-South and ran through the NWA territories until he made it to the WWF in 86. And I remember him, he rarely ever won, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
And I didn't realize that they didn't like him that much. He made it into the Hall of Fame in 2009, and they said he was the low. What was the line? Let me see if I can find it. They said he was the floor of superstars, and I just don't agree. He was entertaining. He was fun. God, I can't say enough good things about Coco Beware.
Man, so when like I said, there was a local wrestling event here when I was a kid, and I remember where it was. I think it might have been Lapway. I got to meet the Bushwhackers, and I got to meet Coco Beware, and he was the nicest fucking dude. Of course, I was like 5, so who knows? But he was the nicest dude. What a great choice. Oh.
Yeah, his whole career, I just approve of. I liked the shit out of the Birdman. Look at that. Janky Kang's brother trained under Coco. I wonder if we could get him on the show.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I have to ask Drew.
And that when I put that in the chat, when I was like, oh, Ken Shamrock, Kurt Angle, yada, yada, yada. I was like, but nostalgia is going to win. It was Coco Beware. I loved every time he came out.
Man, that's awesome.
And then he actually sang.
I think if you're a kid,
his entrance music once he changed it. to Pile Driver. Before it was just a really cool, like, chill thing, but then they did this. WWE released an album before they started doing WWE the Music Volume, whatever, and it was called Pile Driver, and he did the title track.
Oh,
and I'm sure it's terrible.
that's such a great choice. Man, Koki B, he was so great. He's one of those guys. He was just, you know, he's a gimmick wrestler. You know,
Yeah.
it's just you're not gonna get super far while you're doing that. But man, the kids.
Jake never got a world title, and he came out with a snake. Coco came out with a macaw, and he's not going to be.
When I met Coco Beware as a kid, I remember being genuinely really excited to meet him. Like, he was the one I wanted to meet. In fact, he was the one that was billed on this event. Like, there was the Bushwhackers there who I wanted to meet, but there was Coco Beware was like the headliner of like this local show they put on in Lapway. And I remember genuinely being like, oh, I want to meet Coco Beware. Like, that was the one that, like, oh man, I want to meet Coco.
Oh yeah,
which is cool.
Love him to death.
That's so great. That's a great choice.
All right, now we're gonna talk for 2 more hours about me. Woo!
Dusty, you might have to be on the next round of either D or K.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have to talk about this.
No, it'd be V. It'd be Valentine.
Oh, we might have to do it.
You could talk about you then.
You know what? When we talk about, I proclaim here on this show that we will talk about Dusty. In
my entire career is on the internet. If you
what I'm saying right now is that we will talk about Dusty in his career. On letter V, actually, I think that's where we'll go with it. But we'll also show. We will show some of the footage from that on from YouTube. We will do that. There will be a thing. I might go ahead and.
You guys pick your favorites, and I'll pick my favorites, and then we can.
I might
figure out.
I'm gonna tag team your career with you on letter V.
I like it. I think it should be a special episode.
We will talk about it. It'll be fantastic.
Because I'm sure when we get to letter V, there will not be that much going on in the wrestling world.
I'm sure not.
By the time we get to V.
That was a great choice, though. I really like Coco Beware. Man, god damn it, that was a really good choice.
Yeah, he's a top tier guy. I don't care what anybody says.
I love that you went with him automatically as K. Like, you knew who you were gonna pick. Like, there was a tough choices, but you're like Coco Beware, obviously. That's so good.
I had to.
That's so good. I love it. Bobby Roode,
so goddamn rude, tell you fuck.
By the way, Bobby Roode's theme music for WWE might be the best theme music that's existed. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know who what wrestler has better music than that. We've done this episode, but Bobby Roode should have been the top of all of our lists. Thanks for everybody for watching the show. We really appreciate you guys chiming in the chat. We love you all.
Go to the Wooden Nickel.
Go to the Wooden Nickel. We'll be there tomorrow. Dusty might even join us, which would be a lot of fun.
What time? What time is it?
I'll be there about 6. We'll be there about 6 o'clock.
6.
And we'll stream about 7. Thank you everybody for watching the show. Make sure you check out our Patreon. Make sure you check out timespeedpoorly.com. At Derek on TSPN on the Twitter. At Huds Magruder on Twitter. At DustyCats88 on the Twitter.
TikTok. Get me on TikTok.
I gotta say, check out Dusty on TikTok as well. We have a lot of fun doing this show. I hope you like it as much as we do. I don't know if we'll be here next week because I will be out of town, but we'll be back the following week, motherfuckers. Have a great weekend. Have a happy 4th.
Our top 5 worst women.
Yeah. Be safe and wear a god.
Yeah. And also don't light the sides of mountains on fire with your fireworks. So
be super careful on the 4th.
Yeah, man.
Be real careful and real safe.
God dang it.
I
like you and I trust you, but I want you to be safe. The Red Ranger says be safe on Independence Day.
I wish the Red Ranger had a southern accent.
I tell you what, it's fucking morphin' time. I tell you what, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Jesus.
Good night, folks.
Thank you, everybody. Have a glorious